welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
Before we get started with this couple cam review, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell notification. Also, if you missed our Married at First Sight review, make sure you click on it.
And we have a link for a free audio book with Audible, so check it out, alright?
Yeah, it's in the description.
It is.
It is. So let's get started. Thank you. Thanks for helping me out. But let's get started with this couple cam. We saw this week's couple cam. We missed two couples. Two couples were not on couple cam this week. Jamie and Doug was not on, and also Ashley and Anthony were not on after their big announcement last week.
Yay!
About them having another child.
Yay, baby on the way.
With a baby on the way. But we started this week. We started with I'm gonna start with Deonna and Greg because Deonna had me laughing this week.
Oh my gosh.
Deonna had me. It was hilarious. I felt like Greg. I felt Greg. I really did feel Greg. Not because you did it. But
I was about to say I did not.
No, you didn't do the yoga and stuff for fertility or the food and all that other stuff. We did it like Greg was saying to do it.
Now, truthfully though, for real, after I had we had a miscarriage first. So I think it was after that one. I did take some suggestions from my friend Tina.
Yeah. We took
she was like, you got to prop your hips up afterwards and stuff like that. But I wasn't doing no fertility yoga and all that food stuff. I wasn't Googling.
Nah, I wasn't Googling. But we saw Deonna doing fertility yoga. Greg hopped in and chimed in with some fertility yoga as well. Deonna pulled out some food, some oatmeal, some kale, some
avocados, some ancient grains.
And I'm like, Greg, what are you going to make with that?
Not all together,
We're just going to mix it together, put it in a blender, and make you a smoothie?
Ew.
That's nasty. But either way, it's sweet to see that Greg is on board with having a child with Deonna. It's good to see that they're working together to have a child. I guess that's what quarantine does. When you're in the house, you have nothing else to do. And
some people it's like that anyway. It's like, when you trying to make a baby, it's like it's got to be all these technical stuff. Grandma didn't have all that.
Grandma didn't do all that. No. And Google.
My grandma had 9.
And everything. Well, my grandma had 16. So and they
several sets of twins.
And they didn't have Google.
No.
So, but but that's one of the things that you got to do. But I think they really, you can see how they've grown since Married at First Sight.
Absolutely.
And Charlotte, they have really grown together. Deonna really loves her husband. Greg really loves Deonna. And I like how they play. And Greg is real thoughtful. He went down there and cooked some salmon. And he cooked some kale. He took some quinoa,
and when he blessed the food, he asked that God would allow the food to make Deonna's loins fertile.
And fertile, and she was already feeling like after he cooked dinner, like, man,
yeah, she was
like this thing's working. It's working already.
It's working already.
It's working already, but not. That was the biggest thing with Deonna and Greg, that they wanted to try have a baby, and she was doing all these different things she saw on Google to help her and assist in that. So, quarantine works for them. Let's go to Keith and Christine.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, Keith and Christine, they're hilarious. They're funny to me. Keith's grandma asked him to help move a stump.
Yes.
Oh, he says it's a stump, right? I'm a country boy. That's not a stump. He broke some branches.
Yeah, that was the whole bottom of a broken tree.
Yeah, whole bottom of
a stump.
Yeah, just not a stump. So he broke some branches off. He was chopping it with a machete, not an axe. He was doing his work. He was breaking limbs. He was doing what he needed to do. Spending time with grandma, her family, and Christine. Like, oh my man, he looks so nice and strong.
So big and strong.
Strong.
And handy. I like it.
And handy. They interact with each other. And so I like to see how I like how they grown as well as too.
Absolutely.
Over the past year or so, since their season of Married at First Sight. So you see them, and Keith, I guess he got excited about.
No, he was feeling himself.
The handiwork he did.
Yeah, boy. So he decided he was going to do some things in the house, make another entranceway to the basement.
You got to realize your limitations. I know my limitations. I'm not the most handiest of handymen. I'm like Bill Cosby. The doorbell anyway. But handy, you got to know your limitations. So he tried to make a new entranceway to the basement, and it didn't work out well. I'm so glad Christine has a contractor, her family, her dad.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The dad was like, it's going to take about a week to fix the stuff that you messed up.
And y'all going to have to leave.
Yeah, y'all going to have to leave. So I
can get it fixed.
Yeah, so I can get it fixed. So Keith didn't feel too good. But either way, They wasn't mad. They wasn't mad. They fixed their house, fixing up there at 90%. You know, she's at 80. He said 90. She said 85% complete. But nonetheless, renovations of their house are going well. Christine and Keith, quarantine, renovations.
Yep.
And move to the next couple houses.
Okay.
Let's move to the next couple. Austin
and Jessica
are looking for a house.
Because they said they've done some things. So the first thing was to get a dog. They got Rex. Yeah. All right. And then they wanted to travel, which COVID-19 halted that. No traveling.
Put a stop on that bad boy.
Yeah. And so their next thing was they were going to be looking for a house. They were going to add another dog too, but they're looking for a house.
So Jessica called Christine, the best real estate agent she knows.
Yeah. Because the house they're looking for, she wants to move further out and get closer to Austin's family. So yeah, call it good old Christine.
Christine, try to help out. And
I think that's awesome that these couples have a relationship, not even just the ones on their own seasons, but the seasons are crossing over with this couples cam and probably some other things too, where they can relate to each other and, you know, do their resources, you know, use each other.
They got a family. I mean, you got the Married at First Sight family. Once you on the show, you're really ingrained to their family. So I think they do connect, and because no one else experienced what you experienced.
Right.
Nobody else has been through what you've been through, marrying a stranger at first sight, and set for this community. And right now it's a small community. So, you know, that's where they can build that connection at. So she called Christine, and Christine, like, you know, make sure y'all don't, you know, check your credit scores, make sure you find a lender, see what you can get pre-approved for, and don't make any big purchases. Do y'all got any kind of requests or what kind of houses you want? And the first thing on Jessica's list was like, I want a house with no ghost. Like, what?
She said, how do I find a house that's not haunted by ghosts?
That's not haunted by ghosts. Now, I do know, I have a lot of realtor friends. Now, you can find houses that, you can find out if someone's been murdered in a house. You can find out if the house was part of a crime scene. But I don't know if you can find out if the house has ghosts or not, unless you talk to the people who lived in the house. Yeah,
and the one thing we talked about, she kind of almost related to ghosts being in the house with somebody being killed in the house. Yeah. And I was like, just because somebody got killed in the house doesn't mean there are ghosts there.
Yeah, and Christine like, well, you know, if you do that, you might want to get a median, because some people believe in ghosts, some people don't believe in ghosts, and I don't think any realtor is going to lie. Look.
Yeah, somebody got killed there.
Yeah, we don't list the houses with, you know, ghost here. A family of ghosts live here. Casper lives here. I don't think you sell too many houses that way.
Nah.
But they went to visit a house with a real estate agent. So they went to visit a house. It was a nice house. People, you know, I understand staging houses. But they staged the house with a full closet.
No, it wasn't staged.
Shoes.
It wasn't staged.
But the person, they said they moved out.
I'm like Jessica. Now, trust me, we've seen some people get up and move in the middle of the night.
Our neighbors.
They took their stuff with them, though.
Yeah.
They took their stuff with them. I mean, a whole closet full of clothes. Yeah. Racks of shoes. I ain't never. The baby bed still made up. All kind of books on the bookshelf.
Maybe it was well-to-do. And they left the person clothes who maybe died in the house there. I'm just
I don't know.
But they had a greenhouse. She's like, it's something from the creepy movie that is scary.
The plants? Who's watering the plants?
A creepy basement. And then she's like, that's not the house for us.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know where they were looking for a house at, but that was not the one.
I mean, it wouldn't be the house for me either.
It wouldn't be neither.
Like, who does
First of all, I didn't want to live in a house that anybody else lived in.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, especially not with all your stuff. Because now I got to clean your stuff up.
Yeah. No. Wanted to move into a house where it was built. So, don't know where they at. And hopefully they could get that situated in the next coming episodes of Couple Cam. But let's move on to, I want to say Jephte and Shawniece for last. But let's move on to...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to save them for last because we're going to have a good discussion on that one. Stay tuned. Don't look, if you want to hear a good discussion, stay around for Jephte and Shawniece as we dig into that one. Also, we want to talk about Jamie and Elizabeth. Elizabeth comes up with a great idea. She said, I want to go home, but I got a great idea how I can get there. Jamie never says no to this person. Never. And she puts a note on the dog.
Dharma. On the dog Dharma.
And send Dharma in there like, come on, Dharma, let's go. And Dharma comes in there, trots in there with a little note on there, and like, what's this? and she reads the note basically saying that, you know, I want to go home. I want to go home. And, you know, you thinking, I know they was going to end up being Charlotte because I followed them on Instagram. But anyway, but on the show, if you don't follow them on Instagram, you know, it was good to see that Jamie and Elizabeth are getting along, that they have conversation, that they can talk, they can play, and that he is not so much of a stickler that we saw in their season, that he's willing to open up to her, and he eventually got her what she wanted, which was to go back home. But Dharma also wrote another note.
Yeah. Elizabeth was like, why did you put the note back on Dharma? He was like, I mean, maybe she had a response. Maybe she had something else to say. And she opens the letter and it's, we're going back home. It's tickets.
Going back to Charlotte. Charlotte. When they're going back to Charlotte and she gets her wish and she gets to go home. You know, it's good to see that Jamie opened up and allowed her. She's on the West Coast, being away from your family that long, and especially during these times with coronavirus and not knowing how things are going, and wanting to see people and want to be not just see people through Zoom, but actually want to touch people and feel people. We saw that last week when Jamie and Doug went back to see his parents, and they was able to touch baby Hendrix for the first time. So you want family members to be able to touch each other and see each other, and that's what that episode. That's what Jamie and Elizabeth had to go through this episode.
Well, yeah, and I just want to real quick mention. I think we said this before. Anyway, when they did the reunion and they were moving to California, it's like that's things you think about before you move all the way across to the other side of the country. That you're gonna be away from your family. Yeah. So I was really surprised that they did that fairly quickly after they got married.
Hey, but when your career and money, and sometimes you just can't pass things up.
I know, but
sometimes it's bad. Hey,
you know how her and her dad are. I know that hurt.
And that's probably a good thing for their marriage that she got away.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not like he was all wrapped up in their stuff. Because if he was, I think he would have broken Jamie.
Yeah,
before this point.
But her and her dad had a special relationship.
Yeah.
Daddy daughters have great relationships. I have one. But both of mine.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying I had one.
No.
Like one daughter like that.
Each one of them. No, we got two.
Say, don't do that.
Two. They both have special places in my heart.
Aw.
Yeah. So let's get to this part. Special places in their heart. Shawniece and Jephte.
Wait, you said you would say them for last. What about Stephanie and AJ?
Oh, I forgot about Stephanie and AJ. Sorry.
Real quick. Stephanie and AJ. So AJ's business is picking up more with him doing resumes and cover letters and all that stuff. And so he has to get his office back. And he hates to tell Stephanie because she's taking over his office. And she's been a breadwinner for months. She's been holding it down. But he was like, I have to get my office back. And, you know, of course, she's like, it's going to hurt my heart. I don't want to go without a fight. But, yeah, I'm going to do it. And so she gets a desk outside of the office.
Outside the door.
Outside the door. And so AJ has the bright idea. He's been really creative during this quarantine, trying to be cute and everything. I appreciate that side of AJ because I did not think he was. I didn't like him.
I'm going to say it. One thing I say it every time. It's him doing it and not producers telling him what to do and when to do it and how to do it. Right. I think that was the issue with him was, dang, I want to chill, but I got to film. Y'all telling me I have to film, telling me I have to go out with this person, telling me I have to be here. AJ likes to move on his own terms. That's why he's an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like people telling him what to do.
So he sends Stephanie an email for an inter-office mixer.
Mm-hmm.
Which she never opened. And she's the RSVP.
He sends it that morning, and it comes to the mixer time that evening, and she still hadn't opened his email. She said, "Oh, you sent me an email?" He's like, yeah. Yeah, it's like for a mixer, and you want beer or wine? Which one you want? Like, he didn't give her a choice. You're like, I'm trying to get on this sexy lady in the office.
I'm trying to get next to her.
I
want to get next to you. Anyway.
And so their interaction is good. Good to see them move in the right direction. I mean, good to see AJ open up. And like you said, during this quarantine, he opened up well, and he's doing well. Yes. He's doing well, and they're doing well. So it's good to see that they're connecting.
All right, now.
No, we got Bobby and Danielle.
Okay.
Bobby and Danielle. So Danielle goes to the doctor.
Yeah. Oh, she went to her appointment by herself.
Yeah, but during this time.
Partly because they were going to find out the gender of the baby. They're going to do that. And Bobby doesn't want to know. And then also, like you said, it's
doesn't want to know.
also it's during quarantine, so you can't have so many people in there. And I think the concern more so was taking the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just her and Bobby, I think he probably would have gone in. And, of course, that's acceptable. And, honestly, it might have been okay for them to take the baby in. You know, it's a regular appointment. But Bobby doesn't want to know the sex of the baby. Danielle goes in by herself, and she'll find out later from the ultrasound. We thought that was kind of odd.
Yeah, odd. You know, didn't think she was that far along. But there's different way of testing.
I still don't think she's that far along, because when she laid down on the table, you could still barely see her belly, and she's still having. Well, we see she's gonna be having morning sickness real bad. Yeah. Usually that's still in the first trimester, and you don't really do the big gender ultrasound until the second trimester.
Yeah. And, you know, and Bobby was kind of disappointed last time because he really wanted a boy, but he got a girl. What he ends up he loves his daughter, you know. And so, you know, as a I can relate to that, because we had a young lady first, and the next one I really need a son to carry on the last name, and we got that son. So it was great that we got him.
And he got a lot.
Yeah,
he asked for it, but he got a lot.
We got a lot, yeah. So it's good to have him to be able to carry the last name. So I understand how Bobby feels. I definitely understand that. And so she finally gets the news.
Yeah, they call her the next day or a couple days later, and first of all, we established that Bobby doesn't want to know. Danielle is terrible at keeping secrets.
Terrible.
We established that before she went to the ultrasound. And she was like, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it. I know, you know, Bobby wants a boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it. And so she gets the call.
And it is
every healthy baby, first of all.
Healthy baby. Because Bobby was like, he wants the baby to be healthy.
Yes.
You know, so healthy baby. Then she gets the news as a boy. She starts crying. She goes in there and tells Bobby that we are everything's healthy, everything's fine, my blood work is good, but we're having a boy.
And he's like, stop playing.
Stop playing.
Stop. That's why he keeps saying he didn't want to know. Because he wasn't mad at all. I told you don't tell me. Kind of like Anthony.
Yeah.
I told you don't tell me. But
he was so excited, and all he could do was just fall on her. Like, oh, yes.
Any excuse to touch me.
Yes, I love touching you. But anyway, he felt like he wanted a boy. So realized he got a boy. And guess what? They're happy.
Oh, I'm happy for them.
I'm happy for them too.
I'm happy.
Quarantine babies. We see a baby get birthed. We seen somebody get pregnant, and we see somebody's trying to get pregnant.
Yes.
Boy, quarantine time.
Yeah.
And 2020.
And we came in 2021. Though.
Yeah, 2020.
There's gonna be the outcome, because we came to the conclusion. But all y'all people, if I start hearing y'all having babies in January, March, January, February, March, and April, I'ma know what you were doing during quarantine.
Quarantine time. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right.
I checked it out.
Jephte and Shawniece.
Oh.
I feel for Shawniece in this episode. I did. Because she's tired. She's doing all the work. She's working on entrepreneur stuff.
Yes.
And she feel like she's getting no help. And Jephte, I understand Jephte, like, I am helping. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And then she was like, let's make a list.
And in the end, her list was 10 things long.
To 4.
And his was 4.
Now, mind you, when you're married, married in our house, there's no defined roles. I mean, I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll get kids ready for school. We'll vacuum the floors. We do everything that we need to do. She'll cook, she'll clean. Depends on the day of the week. And there's no.
That sounded so shady.
It's not shady.
That was so shady.
That's not no shade.
Depends on the day of the week.
no shade.
Ooh,
no shade.
okay.
No shade. But we work together, and I think that's what happens when you're in marriage. It's not that you make a list of this is what I do, this is what you do. You got to take the old adage from the Bible. Whatever you find, whatever your hands find to do, go ahead and just do.
I'm still stuck at the shade, but okay.
No shade. No shade. Whatever you find your hands
to do. Depending on the day of the week. Okay. Yeah.
You know, Fridays we
won't be today.
Fridays don't cook. If I like to eat on Fridays. That's what I mean by the day of the week. No shade.
But anyway, but they had a whole discussion about that before. He was like, I wash my clothes. And she was like, that just means it's less clothes for me to wash, but I still have to wash me and baby Laura's clothes.
Right.
you're not really taking much off of me because it still has to be done. It'd be different if you said, I'm going to wash the laundry, period.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's laundry, period. And she's like, you don't understand. I watched my mom as a single mom struggle with no help. And like I told my husband, I said I felt Shawniece on that. Because I guess what she's saying is, I understood why my mom struggled because she didn't have anybody. It doesn't make sense for me to struggle when I have somebody.
Right.
And so I'm going to need you to be more participatory. Stop complaining about people eating your cereal.
Yes, but the biggest thing is Jephte said something that we had this conversation with our son. It's 24 hours in a day. If you get up earlier, you'll have time to do things. And she was like, well, I just can't. I get up. I work late doing my entrepreneur stuff. And I understand entrepreneur stuff, but there are things you do late at night. There are things that you train your body doing. I know I'm in the one, and how I get up early. I go to bed late. I'm the early person. I'm the early bird. You're not an early bird person, and we understand that. Not that you get up late.
Super early.
Super early.
Like, no, I'm not getting up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm up at like 5:30.
7.
Yeah. So so you got different things that you do throughout the day. And so,
but she sleeps till like 11 or 12. I want to know how late she's up. Yeah. Like if she's up till 1 or 2, maybe 3 in the morning, I could understand. But I kind of felt Jephte on this. Like he just wants her to get up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock, dog. 8
o'clock, not 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock.
And put some work in, or do some work, or organize. Okay, do things. Guess what else? I talk about us because we're transparent. When kids are asleep, you get a lot of work done.
Right.
When your daughter's asleep, when she takes a nap, you get your things done. You can fold the clothes, wash your clothes, do things of that nature. You can do things together. So it'll take less time for you guys to do. Jephte can make sure that store things are vacuumed and clean and give you that quiet time. Take baby Laura. Take baby Laura to the park. Baby Laura to the park, or out, so you can have the quiet time to work on your entrepreneur stuff, so you don't have to stay up late. But what I'm saying is, there's things that they could do to compromise in order to get it done,
absolutely,
and not necessarily have to be up late. And she doesn't necessarily have to, so it's a balance between the mix. And I like what they said and how they compromise. He's like, and Jephte put in perspective, we're year number 3. This is when usually most people are asking to get married. Mm-hmm. We're still learning in each other. We got married like the first day and we didn't know each other, so we still learning each other, which I think is so much growth from Jephte, from the person who didn't want to be touched, didn't want to be bothered. You can see the growth in him at this stage of trying to be a good husband. Yeah,
and the one thing that Shawniece said too is, she says, I'm the type of person that at the point where I'm overwhelmed and I'm frustrated, I usually shut down and I give up and I walk away. And see, she said, I understand that we're in a marriage and I love you and I don't want it to be like that. So I'm making an effort to be in it and to do some cooperation, because she said, people get the impression, and this is true, but I feel like in this day and time, maybe not so much, but people give the impression that marriage is just all about love and caring and concern, and they don't stress the hard work that it takes, or the effort that it takes to put into it. Because remember, you're 2 different people. First of all, you're 2 different personalities. Yeah. You're 2 different backgrounds. You're 2 different sets of experiences. And all this is coming together. And so you got your baggage, you got your good and your bad that you're bringing into it. And you have to weed through it and get it together and learn how to cooperate with each other. And so I agree with her. People don't always say that's what marriage is. If you have good role models and mentors, they'll tell you that. But if you just look at TV and stuff, you'll either get it's super gushy or marriage is really bad. That's what you're gonna get from TV.
Yeah, and it is between, you have to work on it. Anytime you get 2 things to merge, whether it's companies, it takes time to get that one thing. So that's what marriage is working together so you can find a common place work for you. Every marriage is not the same.
Right.
You can't compare your marriage to the next person's marriage, but you can find some principles that are in people's marriages that you can work on. Because communication piece. Some people have their wives who cook all the time. Some wives can't cook at all. Some husbands can cook. Some, it's so clean. Wife don't always have to do dishes. So it's been different things. Some people like folding clothes. Some people don't like folding clothes. Some people like cleaning. Some people don't. So it's the things that you have to mix and match in your marriage and find out what works best for y'all to make each other accountable and make it easy for each other. Mm-hmm. Trust me, you make it easy for them men, good things will happen. Well, that's our show for this week. That's our show for. You laughing? She's laughing because she know I'm telling the truth. Yeah.
I feel attacked.
You're not attacked. You're not attacked.
I'm joking.
Much love. Much love to you. But nah, thank you for joining us on this couple camera review. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Also, make sure you check out the Audible link in the description again. And make sure that you watch our Married at First Sight Season 11 reviews. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.